It's the 14 days to Expo 2020 Dubai, connecting minds, creating the future. Hello and welcome to ZTN News Blitz. I am Owen Kaura, and these are the stories making the headlines. A 28-day ultimatum for unvaccinated civil servants. Zimbabwe's energy minister says the power situation is not worsening. DJ Stavo drops a new single. And in sports, can the mighty Warriors restore lost pride? We'll give you the insights. But first, Zimbabwe's public workers have been given until October 15 to be vaccinated or face disciplinary action. This is contained in a government gazette published today. Earlier in the week, the Public Service Commission had told all unvaccinated civil servants to stop going to work and that they will be marked absent. The statement added that those who refuse to be vaccinated will attend a disciplinary hearing. Meanwhile, gatherings shall be open to fully vaccinated people or those without symptoms, but have a valid PCR test result only. The convener is responsible for this. Those involved in fake COVID-19 vaccination cards or test results will be charged with forgery under the law. And staying with the COVID-19 story, health experts say the country has to keep the momentum on vaccinations to mitigate the impact of the fourth wave. As Zimbabwe Medical Association President Dr. Francis Chirowa speaks.
Really giving more and more publicity, more and more campaign, really everybody will make us speak about it. Even when the media talk about it, publish it to the people, the political people, all the people leaders should continue to advocate for vaccination. Through our healthcare workers, if you could have more vaccination, that people just walk in and get vaccinated and go home, pushing the numbers.
Now, public health expert Itai Rusike believes community education and campaigns could help sustain momentum on vaccination.
Only widespread vaccination will prevent us from the looming threat of a COVID-19 fourth wave. Therefore, it is important that we sustain the COVID-19 vaccine literacy, education, information and awareness campaigns. It is also important that we should address the issue of vaccine equity, especially to the rural areas and the remote locations.
Now, teachers in Zimbabwe say students are not ready for examinations set for November 2021. Latest reports say grade 7 learners will start exams at the end of November, while ordinary and advanced level students will start mid-December, overlapping into 2022. Progressive Teachers Union of Zimbabwe Secretary General Raymond Majongwe speaks.
Imagine at the time that we are grappling to finish the syllabus, the ministry has added the continuous assessment learning challenge, and the teachers and the pupils are not prepared, which is obviously going to divide time and split the effort. That on one hand, one has to do a continuous learning project, and on the other, they must start and complete the syllabus. Add to that, the new position that government has said, all unvaccinated teachers must not turn up for duty, which means as we speak, teachers have left to go and pursue the vaccination challenges.
Now, given the concerns raised by teachers, the question will be, is the Zimbabwe School Examinations Council going to adjust its grading system? The answer is no. The examination body spokesperson, Nikki Dlamini, said no compromises will be made.
In terms of us as ZimSec, you do know that now there is the continuous assessment learning activities, which will take up 30% of the final examination mark, and the formative assessment will be 70%. So in terms of our grading as ZimSec, we will not need to compromise on the standard or the level of our grading if candidates have been given enough learning time according to the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, because the standard and the level that we keep for grade 7s must continue throughout the generation.
The Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission wants the country's lawmakers to assist in coming up with the whistleblower protection framework. This, the Commission argues, will enhance the protection of individuals who report corruption. Now, last year, ZAC launched an anti-corruption whistleblower mobile application to make it easier for citizens to confidentially report suspected cases of high-level graft in the country. The anti-graft body feels efforts to fight corruption may come to naught if witnesses are not protected. ZAC commissioners made their case when they met with the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs on Thursday. ZAC Deputy Chairperson Commissioner Kuziva Murapa spoke to ZTN after the meeting.
And in this regard, we rely on the public, we rely on whistleblowers who can then give us information and give us leads. If these are not protected, then we find that the fight against corruption is half lost. Witnesses, some are at workplaces. If you report your boss and the boss is on bail and comes back, we also obviously are going to be victimized. So we also need those to be protected. So whistleblowers and witness protection is very key in the fight against corruption.
Zimbabwe is currently experiencing electricity load shedding due to reduced power generation capacity at Hwange and Kariba power stations. With the opening up of the economy after extended periods of lockdowns due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this could not have come at a worse time. But what is the Ministry of Energy and Power Development doing to ease the electricity shortages? Minister Jemusoda says the recently published load shedding schedule does not mean the power situation is deteriorating.
Let me take this opportunity to advise the whole nation about the load shedding schedule which you saw being published by ZESA Holdings on Sunday, the 12th of this month. The issuance of that statement by ZESA was only for the purposes of allowing for planning within our various consumer groups. That does not necessarily mean that our situation, our power generation situation has deteriorated. Some consumers have always been clamoring that they needed to know as to when electricity might be available and also when they might be in a load shedding for the purposes of planning, especially on their labor. It does not necessarily mean that when our situation improves, we will continue to abide by the statement which you saw in various media sections. Already on Monday, ZESA's situation had started to improve with the returning to service of one unit from Hwange Power Station, which is Unit 5.
Now, the temporary reduction in carbon emissions caused by global COVID-19 lockdowns did not slow the relentless advance of climate change. Greenhouse gas concentrations are at record levels, and the planet is on a path towards dangerous overheating. A report by the United Nations dubbed United in Science 2021, published yesterday, indicated that annual average global temperature will rise beyond the 1.5 degrees Celsius mark above pre-industrial levels in the next 5 years. Speaking at the launch of the report, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called on nations to act now or risk causing irreversible damage.
These events would have been impossible without human-caused climate change. Costly fires, floods and extreme weather events are increasing everywhere. These changes are just the beginning of worse to come. Unless there are immediate, rapid and large-scale reductions in greenhouse gas emissions, we will be unable to limit global heating to 1.5 degrees Celsius, and the consequences will be catastrophic. This report by the United Nations and Global Scientific Partner Organization is clear. We really are out of time. We must act now to prevent further irreversible damage.
Now, Zimbabwe's Environment and Climate Minister Mangaliso Ndlovu says global warming effects are already being felt in Zimbabwe, with droughts now coming more frequently from once in 10 years to once in 3 years.
We have analyzed from as far back as 1962. That's the study that I saw. you'll find that the frequency and the intensity of droughts has increased. We used to have drought almost once every 10 years. It's now once every 3 to 5 years, which is why it's important, again, that we diversify from our over-dependence on rainfall for our agriculture.
Now, authorities in Zimbabwe say the COVID-19 pandemic has catapulted the use of information communication technology systems. Speaking at the launch of the Smart Government Communications Suite, Zimbabwe's ICT Deputy Minister Dingumuzi Puti encouraged citizens to embrace the Smart Government Communications Suite as it integrates and automates government systems, making communication, data collection and sharing easier. Some of the features on the app include video calling, instant chatting, and new emailing systems that protect government data.
The virtual platform is a video conferencing system that allows government ministries, departments, agencies to conduct meetings, conferences, and workshops without physical grouping. It allows document sharing and collaboration. It also allows instant chatting and audio calling. This will assist greatly in containing the spread of COVID-19 pandemic and foster continuous collaboration across government. The platform is also a measure of protecting government data and information.
And now moving on to our crime watch. 2 brothers from Zimbabwe's Mashonaland Central Province have been arrested for illegally growing marijuana. The 2, Claudius and Tafadzwa Shaiveri, allegedly had a flourishing marijuana field along Hoya River with 275 plants. Detectives raided the field on Thursday following a tip-off and found Claudius watering the plants. It is alleged that Tafadzwa also arrived at the field while police were uprooting the marijuana plants for exhibits and claimed ownership of the plants. He was subsequently arrested. Police are yet to establish the street value of the marijuana. Mashonaland Central Provincial Police spokesperson, Assistant Inspector Naison Liwayo, confirmed the arrest to ZTN.
Police in Mashonaland Central Province confirmed the arrest of 2 accused persons for cultivating 275 plants of daha. The first accused person is Claudius Shavieri, aged 34. The second accused person is Tafadzwa Shavieri, aged 46. Both are from Chadereka village, Chifika Sekete in Mzarabani. The police would like to thank members of the public for the information leading to the arrest of the accused persons. The police would like to warn members of the public against illegal cultivation, possession, supply, sale or use or smoking dangerous drugs.
And in the arts, award-winning world spinner and music producer DJ Stavo, real name Steven Sanders, is set to release the lead track of his debut extended play EP today. The single, titled Piano Move, features South African artists Borah M, Sdida and Manti, as well as Tanzanian vocalist Sam Cam. Borah M is well known for the Amapiano track Gong Gong. Now, the song is DJ Stavo's second release this year after making a comeback on the music scene a few months ago with an Afro-tech song titled Ad Astra. DJ Stavo says the track is basically to inspire the Amapiano movement.
I'm really excited that this coming Friday, the 17th of September, I will be dropping my lead single to my up-and-coming EP called Piano Move. The single is also called Piano Move. It's a really catchy song that I've really worked hard on throughout this whole lockdown season. The song is all about uniting people through dance across the world and trying to get the whole Amapiano wave spread across the world, hence the track called Piano Move. So I'm really excited.
South Africa's Constitutional Court says former President Jacob Zuma does not meet the statutory requirements of a rescission application. Zuma wanted the Apex Court to overturn its earlier judgment, sentencing him to 15 months in jail for contempt of court. Meanwhile, 3 organizations have launched a court bid to obtain the reasons for former President Jacob Zuma's release on medical parole and have that decision set aside. For more than 20 years, Australia tried to maintain good relations with both the United States and China. It was good for trade and peaceful regional relations. But on Thursday, with the announcement of a new security deal with the UK and the US, which will see Australia eventually fielding nuclear-powered submarines, Canberra made its position clear. It has chosen Washington over Beijing. By choosing sides, some experts say Australia has unnecessarily antagonized China, the country's largest trading partner. Now, on Thursday, China's foreign ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian said that deteriorating relations rest entirely with the Australian side. And now on to sport, where Zimbabwe's mighty warriors are eager to restore lost pride ahead of the 2021 COSAFA Women's Championship set for South Africa at the end of September. Our reporter Chidomanua was at the team's training today.
The Mighty Warriors have begun preparations for the 2021 COSAFA Women's Championships. I'm here where the girls are training. It looks like Coach Sibanda called 28 girls to come to camp, of which 8 of those are Black Rhinos Queens. The team is set to leave on the 26th of September ahead of the championship taking place in South Africa at Nelson Mandela Bay. The team is going to be in Group B alongside Tanzania, South Sudan, as well as Botswana. We'll be sure to keep you posted on all their developments here on ZTN.
It's not a matter of comparison. At the end of the day, we support our boys. But obviously, I know they wanted to do better, but it didn't come that way. But yeah, obviously, as we go there, we want to make our nation proud. We always represent our nation with pride, and we are going to do that. So the teamwork is just great. And they know very well. Also, the other guys were a bit fitter, so at some point we're individualizing the sessions so that we don't end up in a situation where we undertrain some other players or overtrain the others.
Now, can FC Platinum progress to the next round of the CAF Champions League? Coach Norman Mapeza says it will not be easy in the second leg clash against Sagrada Esperança of Angola.
Knocks in the squad at the moment, so we have to do our final assessment tomorrow morning. There might be some changes if those guys don't make it, but for now I can't really tell because of those injuries. You need to manage risk. There's some other areas where I don't think we need to take risk. Then there are some other areas, like if you go to the final, if in the final third, of course we need to take risk, but it's all about reading the game in the first 50 minutes. How are they going to play? When we went there, of course, we wanted to come back home with a result, but now we are playing at home. We need to maximize on that. So we have to win. We have to win at all cost. If we're going to concede, let's concede, but end up winning the game. Then for us to concede, end up playing maybe for a draw, then it means we definitely will be out. So we need to win tomorrow, whether we are going to concede, but we need to make sure that we win the game.
And still with football, Northern Region Division 1 side Simba Borah FC have been conducting trials to fill in different positions in their team after being inactive for 2 years due to COVID-19 restrictions. Our correspondent Ntando Nsikane caught up with the team.
Good afternoon and thank you very much. Well, behind me is the Simba Borah FC team, which like most of the teams has been affected by COVID-19 as they lacked game time as well as training time. And this has physically impaired most of, if not all of the players. But after a few interviews with the players and the technical team, there was one issue that was unanimous and resounding amongst all of them. They were complaining and crying about lack of sponsorship and crying to sponsors like Sakunda and other sponsors who are sponsoring football teams to also consider grassroots teams.
We want to get promoted, but it doesn't come on a silver plate. We need to work very hard at training, and also we need to be united as a family, from the players, supporters, technical team, and directors, executive. And I think we, being ambitious, as our director is, I think we are going to achieve our goal.
It is also a good development that we have some sponsors who are coming in. For example, Sakunda, Borah. It's a positive move. But as the lower leagues, we also appeal to more partners in football, or more stakeholders who can sponsor the lower leagues, or at least a good number of teams in the league. It motivates every team. We need more teams to be sponsored and to have an equal chance of competing in Africa or in the Africa Champions League.
And now on to cricket. The Lady Chevrons will play Namibia or Tanzania in the ICC Women's T20 World Cup Africa Region Qualifiers Final. They beat Uganda by 14 runs in the semi-final today to secure a place in Sunday's final in Gaborone. The semi-final between Namibia and Tanzania is currently underway. Meanwhile, the men's cricket team, the Chevrons, will be aiming to restore parity in the 3-match T20 International Series against Scotland today. The Chevrons lost the first match by 7 runs and will be looking for an improved performance in today's match. Well, that match has just started in Edinburgh, and you can get the latest scores on our online platforms. On Twitter at ZTN News, Instagram at ZTN, and our website is ztn.co.zw. Stay with us. World in 5 coming up shortly.
Are you ready?